Yeah, I'll take it away. We are the 5-star reviewers, as one would say. This is the start of many upcoming episodes. Just just one of many for sure. Dalton.
Thank you, sir. This episode is it's just gonna be a little get to know us. So we're gonna go through our top 5 movies, top 5 TV shows, top 5 best characters, our most anticipated movie of the year, best movie of the year so far, and predictions for the movies this month. Because we are not going to review those today. So we can jump right into that. If you want to go over your top 5 movies, let's hear that.
My top 5 movies. The most of them are probably pretty mainstream. I'd say Dune 2. Just there's no words to even specify how great this movie is. Like, just beautiful. Oh my God, Dennis, man, I want to meet you, dog. Let me know what's good. Blade Runner 2042, beautiful adaptation. It really immerses you into that experience. Makes you feel like a clone of The Matrix, obviously. Keanu Reeves, the GOAT, unanimous, right? One would say.
Good.
Keanu Reeves. I mean, many people know him for John Wick, but I mean, the real ones know him from The Matrix. I got Spider-Man, No Way Home, a nostalgic masterpiece. It's just a gift to the Spider-Man community. Really, just everything we were looking for in one. Everything just about it is gorgeous, right?
I believe so.
Gorgeous. Triple Frontier. I don't know. I think it's a Netflix original, but it's a really great action thriller movie that makes you want to go rob a mobster in Mexico, pretty much. Strip him of all his money, and then go on a mountain trip and crash a helicopter with your boys. Yeah, so that's my top 5 movies of my liking, in my opinion. Dalton?
Not a bad list, I would say, but for my top 5, I'm going to start things from the bottom and up. Number 5, I'm going to go right along to.
Oh.
You don't get movies like that anymore. Ice Cube, Kevin Hart. It was a beautiful combination with a beautiful ending. And then number 4, another classic, 22 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street's great. They shoot the guy's pecker off. But I don't think they can top Schmidt jumping in front of whatever the other dude's name is and missing, getting shot, and him still getting shot. And then number 3, I have Vacation. Not the old ones, the newest one with Ed Helms. I just think that movie's hilarious. Number 2, The Batman. I think it's the greatest Batman movie besides Batman Under the Red Hood that we've got. Definitely the greatest live-action Batman. And then number 1, this was so clear to me. The other ones I had to think about for a little bit. This one is just off the top of my head. Transformers 1. Although I believe Transformers 3 is the best Transformers movie, my favorite Transformers movie is number 1. It's also my favorite movie of all time. Nothing comes close to CGI, Optimus Prime, Megatron. It's just, I don't think I could have asked for anything better.
Masterpiece.
So those are my top 5. We're going to move on to top 5 TV shows, and let's see what you got for those.
All right, for top 5 TV shows, these are all also pretty mainstream, but they're like, TV shows is like, if it's not good, I'm not watching any of it. I'm not going to bear through it. I'm not wasting my time. Simple as that. Breaking Bad. Walter White, man. Open the door. What a guy. Like, just does everything he wants for his family. He knows exactly what he wants to get done. Really, I strive to be him. He's a great man. I recommend the show 100%. At number 2, I got The Sopranos. James Gandolfini is just a legend. His acting in it is great. He really immerses you and makes you feel Italian. Very likable character. And the rest of the ones are just beautifully written. Attack on Titan, the anime holy grail. It's everything you want. Don't believe anything in the show. You'll never get the real truth. Never. You won't like it at all. And then for number 4, I have The Office. Now, The Office is
classic.
Beautiful. It has a love story in it. It has comedy. Has multiple love stories. Oh yeah, there's some fun ones, man. And Yeah, just beautiful. And Steve Carroll, John, what is it, Krasinski?
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski and Rainn Wilson just is a beautiful cast lineup. They did awesome. Invincible.
It's a show for sure.
Invincible at my number 5. It's something for sure. It's up and coming. I'd say there's going to be a lot more seasons than what there is now. We're probably going to have to wait 20 years for season 6 or any other season. But yeah, I think
I love The Flash. I love everything about The Flash and Grant Gustin. I just believe that the first 4 seasons of The Flash is peak television. I don't care about the last couple seasons; those are ass. But The Flash will still be number 1 and will continue to be number 1. And at my number 2, I have Gotham, the TV show about Gotham, obviously following Jim Gordon. Shows you Bruce Wayne growing up. Actually, I've never finished this show, as I'm currently watching it right now, but just the first 2 seasons, they're just unbelievable. You get to see so many of the villains that you'll never, ever see in a Batman movie of any kind. And then I got a 2-way tie for number 3 here. Jack Reacher. So the show Reacher and Jack Ryan. 2 unbelievable shows about 2 unbelievable human beings. Jack Reacher, I believe, should be the Batman in the next Batman movie for the newest James Gunn universe. He's just so massive and so sexy. And then Jack Ryan, he's a little nerd. He's a nerd, and he's also badass.
And it's John.
It's John Krasinski.
Yeah,
Who doesn't love him?
Of course.
And then number 4, I have a 2-way tie as well. The Office. Jody explained this already, so I won't go too much in detail about that. Also has John Krasinski in it.
Yes.
You can see the trend here. And then Teen Titans. Now, when I say Teen Titans, I mean any version of the Teen Titans. That means the show Titans, which not a lot of people like, but I love it. Teen Titans, the first animated one, and then Teen Titans Go is just hilarious. I believe those are the best superhero shows besides The Flash.
Yeah.
And then number 5, you'll never believe this is another 2-way tie.
Okay.
Invincible.
Oh.
Again, Jody explained Invincible, so I won't have to go too much in detail about this, but it's just amazing. Mark Grayson is absolutely phenomenal. And then Trailer Park Boys. Trailer Park Boys, it's hilarious. That is a certified hood classic, and I just don't believe that there's another comedy TV show that could top it besides The Office.
Alright, guys, you said we're going into top 5 characters.
Absolutely.
It's simply, should we go 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
That's up to you.
Let's go 5 to 1. Let's go 5 to 1. We'll go from bottom to the top. All right. At 5, I got Neo. Neo's. I'm a real you are the fate kind of guy. Destiny's put on top of your shoulders. You gotta save the world. It's up to you to save the system. All that. I think Neo does a great job at becoming that kind of god that everyone needs in his verse. 4, I got Robert Pattinson's Batman. I think he does great. It's supposed to portray a young Bruce Wayne, kind of inexperienced as a detective and as Batman. He does awesome as kind of flipping the script on the whole Batman type shit and doing the vengeance and more for the justice type. Then we got Aaron Yeager, another kind of had to do what you had to do kind of guy. He really tries to save everyone, but he ends up doing, if you watch the show, you'll understand. Kay from Blade Runner, I think Ryan Gosling is absolutely gorgeous. He's beautiful with a co-star like Ana de Armas. Just gorgeous portrayal of a cloned cop or whatever type thing in 2042. And then at number 1, the reigning champion, the god among men, Paul Atreides. Man, this kid, Timothy Chalamet, came in and just blew up the scene. He absolutely dominated this role with every word, every speech, every scene he was in, man. It was gorgeous. He really, really just does great. And he did this right after Wonka. Please Timothy Chalamet is our generation's Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's a bold statement. Bold.
Ice cold take.
Top 5 best characters for me. Starting at number 5, I'm just gonna any Ryan Reynolds character ever. I don't care if it's Deadpool. I don't care. I don't care. Ryan Reynolds. GOAT. Number 4, Doctor Doom. I have no specific reason for liking him. I just think he looks sick as fuck. And that's all the reason there is to that. Number 4, Darth Vader and or Anakin Skywalker. They just don't do it like that anymore. You know, it's the greatest villain in all of anything. Any movie, any TV show, any book, the greatest villain. And number 3, I'm sorry, I forget. Number 4 is a two-way tie. I don't
Okay, two-way tie.
Number 3 is also a two-way tie.
Okay.
I got Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. I just think not talking and being able to work in a team is just unbelievable. Because I was always told that communication is key. And it's clearly not. So that debunked that stupid-ass theory. And then also tied for number 3 is Cyclops from X-Men. That's just, oh my goodness. My favorite Marvel character by far, you know, the only one that would even graze the same grounds I have Cyclops on is Spider-Man. I just think not being able to see without those fucking glasses on, otherwise he's going to blast someone into oblivion, it's just, oh my god, it's beautiful. And number 2, Optimus Prime. I don't even have any words won't even come out of my mouth how much I love Optimus Prime. He could say a speech about cooking a bagel, and I think it would motivate me enough to go fight Megatron myself. No weapons, no prep time, no nothing. And number 1, this may come as a shock to everyone I know. It's the Flash.
No.
I just think they don't do superheroes like the Flash. You know, he's just so OP, and I believe that if he was written how he should be written, he would and kill everyone, and nobody would ever stand a chance against the Flash. Not even Superman, maybe Batman with a couple of days of prep time. But that's my those are my favorite characters. So let's hear what your most anticipated movie of 2024 is going to be here, Jody.
I think my most anticipated film of 2024 is that Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because actually on mine, my most anticipated movie is also Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be the savior that the MCU needs. I see. Ryan Reynolds is gonna blow it out of the water.
He's gonna blow it out of the water, and it's only 2 hours, which is 2 hours and like 12 minutes, which is a short movie in some aspect, but it's also the longest Deadpool movie. Yeah, I don't know what else they could do. I know they're exploring the multiverse, and there's probably gonna be some X-Men characters in there, but I don't know. I'm super excited to see what comes out of that movie. And moving on from most anticipated, we're gonna do our favorite or best movie that we've seen this year. And I'll let you go ahead with that.
This might be a hot take, maybe to some, but I think Dune 2 absolutely climbs the rankings on any movie that's came out this year, last year, the year before that. It's been years since I've seen a movie like Dune 2. It's just a masterpiece. The color, the characters, everything about it. Like, I mean, I went and saw it twice. Like, once with him and once with my girlfriend. I made an excuse to go see it with my girlfriend. Like, I had to see it the second time. Like, Paul Atreides' speeches are one of a kind. How do you get a kid that makes a speech like that? Unless you're, Jake Palmer. You only get certain people like that.
Exactly.
Paul Atreides is one of them.
My favorite movie this year, I wrote down 3 because I just think that some of these movies do something better than the other. And number 3, or there's no ranking for this, I'll just say, going from how I wrote this, Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor. The movie wasn't that good, but the dude's name is Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like I have to put it on there to pay respect to that. And I also heard they're making another one that I think is pretty stupid. But another spot here, I got Dune 2 as well. I think it was an outstanding movie. I also don't believe that it's had much competition this year either. So I feel like if you're not saying Dune 2, I don't know what you could say. I'm not too sure what else would
Madam
be up
Web.
there? Except for this next movie, which I don't think I've heard anyone say, like, talk about ever. I went to go see the other day. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare was my favorite movie of this year. Henry Cavill, Superman, Alan Richardson, Batman soon, and Jack Reacher, and Hawk from Titans.
Hasn't even been announced yet.
There's a few other people in there, but I just think that the amount of seriousness and comedy in this movie was absolutely perfect. I never caught myself wishing that it would just, oh my gosh, I don't want to skip this scene. There's no boring part of this movie. It was phenomenal, based off of a true story as well is what really what put this over the top, because I don't think Roadhouse and Dune 2 are based off a true story. I'm not too sure about that. But this next little segment here, I didn't write down on our things to do, but I figured what was the worst movie you've seen this year?
Like I said it earlier when he was talking about Dune 2 not having any competition. I think the only thing that can even come close to competing with it is Madam Web. Nah, I'm lying. Madam Web is the worst movie made behind Morbius. I don't know why they gave the Morbius was it the director or whatever, chairman's whoever, another shot at a movie, but they absolutely bombed it. Like, I don't know how you can get worse than that. How you advertise Spider Women and then don't have a single Spider Woman in your movie, and then it's just it sucks. I'm sorry to say, like, there is good adaptations of, and this isn't even about it being with chicks. I had no problem with that. Exactly, okay, exactly. Like it was bad. It was bad. Simple as that.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up, because for my worst movie of 2024, I also put down Madam Web. And even thinking or talking about this movie, it just boils my blood. To show the Spider Women grown up in the trailer and then have nothing else after that in the actual movie pissed me the fuck off. I went into this movie thinking that I was going to see 3 badass Spider Women in this dumb blind bitch. We barely got the dumb blind bitch. We got her for like 5 minutes at the end. And she stares out of a window. She can't fucking see why she's staring out of a window. Writing is horrible. And even if you weren't going to make the actual Spider Women have their powers, why did they make them like 14 years old? I did not go to the movie to see Sydney Sweeney be 12 years old. I came to see her in that black Spider-Man suit shoot some weird fucking webs out of her hand. And I think that was just awful. I think it was disgusting. And I would never watch it ever again, no matter if I was getting paid $1 million to do it again. That shit was awful.
Yeah, actress Dakota Johnson even said she would never do a movie like that again.
Sydney Sweeney doesn't even want to be recognized for this movie. That's how bad this shit is.
Like, it is a whole, like, we have a Spider-Man community and they ruined it. I mean, we're not hearing much talk about it anymore. I mean, it was kind of big back then. Yeah, like, it doesn't deserve talk, period.
Yeah, but what I think made me even more mad had nothing to do with the actual movie is when they did the interview of the 3 actors that played the Spider-Woman that we got to see for 30 seconds, said that they would be Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. First of all, saying, "Have you seen my webs?" as a rebuttal for that question makes no sense. We saw your webs for about 2 seconds, and you did nothing. They pushed this dude out of a fucking window. This might be news to me, but I've never really seen Spider-Man kill, so I'm not too sure what that was all about. Mm-hmm. And I think that was fucking ridiculous. And I think for not even being sexist here, just because they're women and just because they're men, just for them to even disrespect the 3 greatest movie for superheroes of all time it's disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And it's disgusting. It makes me want to throw the fuck up. But moving on from that horrible, lame excuse for a movie, we're gonna do our predictions for May 2024, and we're also gonna figure out what movies we're going to see in May. I think there's 12 movies coming out in May. Some have already come out by the time you've seen this, but we have not watched them. We're going to pick 5 or 6 to watch, and then the other ones can burn in a hole. I don't ever want to watch them. And then we're going to give a prediction. So on a scale of 1 star to 5 stars. And then at the end of the month, after we watch these and we do our end of the month episode, we'll see how close we were, how close our predictions were. So if you want to go over the number 1 movie you would like to see that month, I'll go over mine as well.
I think the number 1 movie I want to see this month is probably, I'd say, the Garfield movie. It's definitely the trailer is funny as hell. Garfield, a classic. And we haven't really gotten anything Garfield in a while. I remember there's something came out a long time ago when I was 12, maybe 13, but nothing since then, and I am excited as a man.
I don't have that at my number 1, but I do have it at my number 2. So we will watch Garfield and give a thorough review of it, give you the pros and cons. I think that movie's going to be 5 stars. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. I don't think it'll be the best movie this year. And that's not what a 5-star means in my book. I just think 5-star is just a phenomenal movie that I would go see again. Some of these movies this month, I put a little lower because watching the trailers, I don't think I'll go watch these movies again. But Garfield, I probably will, even if it's bad, go see it again just because it's probably going to be absolutely hilarious. And I'm a big comedy movie guy. So I'll grab a fucking pen. And then if you want to give me your number 2, most anticipated for May, I'd like to hear that.
My number 2 most anticipated for May is probably, I'd say Furiosa, Mad Max. I enjoyed the one before this. It wasn't too bad. I really liked the villain dude. The art for him and the whatchamacallit, the sculpting for his body was awesome. I got that at, I'm gonna say 3.5 stars. I'm not really expecting too much out of it, but it has huge potential and huge upside if they do it right.
So I have that at number 6. So that would be like. So we will watch this. I have it ranked at 4.5 stars just because I feel like the trailer looked alright. It didn't look like something that I might like, but I think a lot of other people will like it. So I put it at 4.5 stars, and that is at my number 6. So that was the last movie that I was willing to see this month. So at my number 1, I have If. With John Krasinski and Ryan Reynolds. There's so many actors, like so many mainstream actors. I don't see how we could not watch this. I know it's about like imaginary friends and it's a little fucking childish, but so is Garfield. So is half the other movies that have come out this year that did amazing. I just feel like with all the actors that they have in it, if this isn't 5 stars, it'll be the biggest flop of the year.
Yeah, kind of gives me that Pixel vibe.
Yeah.
Like, looks childish, but I feel like it's going to be like for both parties.
Yeah, I think it'll be very good.
For my number 3, this year I have Tear It. Is it Terra?
It's
Terra. It's supposed to be a scary film. It's at number 3. I'm not really looking forward to it. I mean, I'm a huge horror movie guy, but this looks like just something that like A24 would throw together for an indie film. It's really not something. But I'm a horror freak, so I'll go see it. If it excites me, then it excites me. I'll let you guys know.
So my number 3, I have The Fall Guy. That has already come out this month, but I've not watched it. I've heard great things about it. I haven't ranked at 5 stars just because I've heard some people on the internet say it's the best movie of the year. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. That's what I have on my number 3. So we'll put those 2 on hold until we get through our 4 and 5, and then we'll try to see which one we will see because I don't really care.
Okay.
But at my number 4, I have the new Planet of the Apes movie.
Yeah.
Came out. It's already out. All of these movies will be out by the time you see this one at least. I like the first 3. Not my favorites, but I think this will be a 3 stars. This will be at 3 stars for me. I don't really see much potential coming from this one. To be honest, I think they should have stopped after the last one. So.
Our number 4, right?
Yeah.
My number 4 also is Planet of the Apes. I don't know. I probably should have put this higher up on the list because I totally forgot about this movie. I don't know how. I loved the first 3. They were all great. Caesar, he's not going to be in the newest one, obviously, but he's dead. But it's going to be, I've read up a lot of stuff, and I've heard it's going to be a pretty good movie. It is pretty good. Not going to be, but it's a good-ass movie. I'm excited to see it, and I'm ready to see some monkeys on some horses.
Okay, so we will watch that. As I said, my prediction is 3 stars. I don't really see much coming from this. But my number 5 is The Strangers, where like Strangers Part 1 or something. It looks alright. I don't love horror movies. I'll watch them. I don't think I've ever seen one in theaters except for The Nun 2 and probably like The Conjuring 2 and The Conjuring. I don't normally go and see these kind of movies in theaters because they're not really my style or my pacing, but I think this one has the potential to be good. The trailer, when I went and watched the Ministry of Invisibility War for the best movie of the year, it looked actually pretty good, so I put this at number 5, and I'm ranking it prediction 4.5 stars.
Okay. That's also my fifth. Yeah, I'm gonna put it at 4.5 stars too. There's like, I mean, this month is. I'm not gonna say dry because we got Deadpool.
It's kind of shit.
Yeah,
this month.
we got Deadpool.
So I don't know how much that cost, but Jody said that he also had this ranked at 4.5 stars, and we will be seeing this, and we will be giving it a review. Now, the only one that we have to figure out is the Fall Guy or Tarot. I don't really mind, so I'll watch either of them. I think we should probably watch Tarot because Fall Guy came out at the beginning of the month, and mostly everyone has fucking seen it already because it has Ryan Gosling. I don't think I watched the trailer for Tarot, but I'll give it a 3.5 stars just because he said it's a horror movie, right? Not a big horror movie guy. But yeah, the movies we will not be seeing this month: Babes, Backspot, In a Violent Nature, Back to Black, Ezra, Young Women in the Seas. I don't want to get myself canceled after that, but these movies look like fucking shit. I won't lie. It was hard to just... I don't think I finished the trailer for about half of these just because they looked so boring. Like, I almost fell asleep watching the 2-minute trailer. This month for movies isn't, like, the greatest. I mean, it's got If and Garfield, and that's about it. That's, like, the only two that I really think are going to be great. So hopefully June picks it up. I know in June there's 15 movies coming out, and most of those look pretty good. But that should be pretty good.
When does a new Joker movie come out?
I hope never.
We're going to see it. Don't worry. It's got Lady Gaga in it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a musical or something.
I don't think I want to see a musical version of
Come
Joker.
on now, dude. He had moves in the first movie. He was. You remember the bathroom scene?
Yeah, sure does.
Well, that's
that
like. But if Batman did that, you'd be like, oh, he's so cold.
I would call him something dumb because if I saw Batman dancing, I'd throw up.
I mean, fighting's
Joker-
technically dancing.
Fighting's not dancing. He beats the shit out of someone. That's different than stroking yourself in a bathroom.
Oh yeah, that's what the Joker was doing.
Like I don't care. That movie, off topic completely, but that Joker movie, I see everyone love that movie. That movie fucking sucks.
Bro,
That movie is horrible. I watched it one time and I almost turned it off like halfway through because I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever. The acting is good. I believe that Joaquin Phoenix or however the hell you say his name, I think he's pretty good. So it's not really a thing with him. It's just the movie I think is horrible. I hope I never see some shit like that ever again.
Question: who's an actor that you would like to see in an upcoming film, or like starring in an upcoming film? Because me personally, I haven't seen a Leo starring movie in a while. I think he's been kind of taking a hiatus, enjoying his 20-year-old women time.
Yeah, doing
his little yacht life, whatever's going on.
Girlfriends. I don't know. There's a few. Most of them are superheroes. I'd like to see Grant Gustin come back as the Flash. That'll never happen. It's just I like to think about that sometimes because I don't like Ezra Miller, and the Flash movie sucked.
Henry
Cavill, maybe not as Superman because those movies kind of ruined my thing with Henry Cavill as Superman. But he was great in Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I'd like to see Alan Richardson come as Batman over Jensen Ackles, who plays Soldier Boy in The Boys.
Okay.
I think either of them it would be great. I just think Alan Richardson has a better build. He looks more like the Batman from the Arkham games, and I think that's pretty. I think I could probably say for everyone that's mostly everyone's favorite interpretation of Batman so far is the video games, just because there's no way that dude's human.
No,
and it's crazy.
Different breed.
I think I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I know as soon as I shut the camera off, I'll think of 6 more. But I really don't think I know any. I'd like to see, this isn't really an actor, but they're coming out with that Transformers animated movie, which looks cool. But for the next live action one, I'd like to see the G.I. Joe with Snake Eyes in the movie, because they teased that at the end. But what about you?
Yeah, Leo, I would like to see another ride-along movie like we were talking about earlier. There hasn't like 22 Jump Street, Haunted House. They don't make movies like that anymore. I want to see a movie, whether it be anyone. I mean, I mean, I enjoy media comedy. I mean, Medea comedies. I mean, Tyler Perry, please drop another one, please.
I think that's why June will be so much better because we're getting Bad Boys,
Okay,
which is
yeah.
kind of just like that, and it looks so funny,
Yeah.
just like all the other ones. I have a question. If you could play any person in any movie, who would you play?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, like, could we argue that? I mean,
He doesn't
it
have to be mixed. Like you could pick like Batman. Yeah. Any movie ever. Who would you replace yourself with, or who would you want to be in the movie that hasn't been made?
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Wolf on Wall Street. I'm gonna have to become Jordan Belfort.
Okay.
Like, that just is the dream lifestyle, is it not? Taking Quaaludes with your boys while you go in.
Robbie, right?
Yeah. That too. I mean, if that comes with the contract, I'll sign it.
You gotta be an actor, you know?
It is what it is.
I think.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
There's only two things that come to mind. One would be like Robin, any kind of Robin from the Batman. I don't look like any of the Robins, but I don't care. I just think being Robin would be pretty sick. Or Kid Flash, Wally West, instead of being Barry Allen. Just because I'm a ginger and he's the only ginger Flash, I think it'd be sick to actually be able to play a role and kind of look the part. But I think it'd be hard for me to play a superhero like that, like especially Kid Flash, who's like younger than Barry Allen, just because I don't know any Flash actors that look like the Flash that are gonna be 6'4" or taller to be taller.
Exactly.
So it'd be pretty hard to, especially like Robin too. He's not supposed to be as tall as Alan Richardson, and I am, or like an inch shorter. I think I am. So I think that'd be hard too. But I just, if we're going hypothetical, because it'll never happen anyway. Yeah, those two for sure, without a doubt. In my mind.
You doing your own stunts?
I would probably do my own stunts.
Do your own stunts?
If I was guaranteed like more movies after, no.
Okay.
But maybe like a Tom Cruise thing, right?
Yeah. Well, Tom Cruise has like 15 Mission Impossibles.
Yeah.
That dude just does that for fun.
But he's always just done that.
Yeah,
so,
it's just like a big ass Jackass episode.
But I think I'd probably commit pretty hard to doing it, especially because I feel like if you do stuff like that, it kind of gives you more like people kind of respect you more if you do your own stunts.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't really see a stunt in a superhero movie that could really hurt me that bad, except for getting punched in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, they all got pads and stuff.
Yeah, all those things have fucking... And they don't hit each other in the movie anyway, so I just have to whip my head back really fast, so... Yeah. I think I would do my own stunt for sure. I'm not hanging off an airplane.
Yeah.
Or driving a dirt bike over, like, the Grand Canyon or whatever.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
But I would follow a story or two.
A book or, like, video game you played that you would want to see turned into a movie?
Yes. The Jedi, Fallen Order, and Survivor games.
Okay.
A little recency bias because I just replayed the second one, but I've always kind of wanted to see Cal Kestis. I could play Cal Kestis.
Yeah, he could.
I've always wanted, since the first one came out, I've always wanted to see Cal Kestis, especially him facing off against Darth Vader, which lasted about 20 seconds before he got his head chopped off. But yeah, I just think that'd be sick. Especially since it actually lines up with the actual Star Wars timeline, and it is actually all canon, which kind of sucks in a way because he can't really like. I would like to see him become the most powerful Jedi, but he kind of can't, just because of everything else.
Plot lock, pretty much.
Just like you can't kill Darth Vader. You can't do that. Obi-Wan Kenobi is still alive technically, so he can't be the most powerful Jedi. But yeah, just if they could tweak that a little bit and make it its own universe, that'd be sick. I would love to slice Darth Vader's head off as much as I love him. But yeah, it'd probably top one. What about you?
I think...
Or actually, sorry about this.
Okay.
The Insomniac Spider-Man games.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of the Miles, and we do have a shit ton of Spider-Men. And now we have these dog shit Spider-Women. But I think that the Insomniac Spider-Man is the strongest version of Spider-Man that we probably will see for a while. I just don't see any of the other ones breaking like 14 bones or something and then packing up the Sinister Six in like 12 hours. I don't see I definitely don't see Tom Holland doing that.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, probably not. Tobey Maguire would be the closest to it. I don't even think his old ass would be able to do it. So I would love to see a Spider-Man that is actually strong like that. And the story in those games is probably... If I could probably sit down and watch the cutscenes and say it's my favorite Spider-Man movie. With the exception of No Way Home, just because of the 3 Spider-Man scene. I think that's the only reason that movie was good.
I think they need to turn Elden Ring into a movie. Like, I think a 2-hour, 30-minute movie would be great for Elden Ring. The colors in the game are phenomenal. The bosses are just
awesome.
Just massive and abstract. The story is one of a kind. I mean, you become an Elden god. Like, dude, how cool would that be at the end of a movie? You are the Elden god. Like, come on with me. I'm adapting that personality. It's like, it's just the weapons and like the way they could, I mean, would it be one person in the movie? I don't know. They could probably make like a little like 3-person group. I don't know, all of different types, but I would definitely like to see a bunch of stuff portrayed in that type of movie. Or even just like a Souls game, like Dark Souls would be nice. That Liza P. It's like basically Pinocchio killing off all. I didn't know Pinocchio had villains. Who was gonna tell me that? That's very weird. So yeah, I think any of like a Souls game, but most specifically Elden Ring, that would be absolutely beautiful as like a movie.
This one isn't like a game, but I would love to see a version of Cyclops in live action where he's not a bitch.
Okay,
like,
yeah, that's a good. He's always a kid.
Yeah, he's always a kid, or he just gets bitched around.
Yeah.
And I get that they were focusing more on Wolverine in the movies, but I think that's fucking stupid. I love Wolverine, but if you're gonna take the leader of the X-Men and kind of just, he has 30 minutes. James Marsden or whatever his name is in the first like 3 X-Men movies has 30 minutes of screen time combined in all those movies, which I think is for any X-Men character in the X-Men, like the original X-Men, I think that's absolutely ridiculous, especially the leader of the X-Men. And I was actually going to throw X-Men 97 on my top 5 favorite TV shows just because of how well they actually portray him. Like, this dude jumps from a plane and just uses his concussion blast to stop himself from splatting. And I don't know, it's like every version is either a fucking like 15-year-old kid or just like it's completely like Shadow and being a cuck for Logan and Jean.
Yeah, no kidding. He does just watch their relationship unfold every single movie, and then gets killed because she like that.
The worst superhero death scene I think I've ever seen in my life.
Unarguably.
It was just, I get they were doing it because he had to go film another movie and he didn't have time for this. I mean, it probably wouldn't have mattered. They would have thrown him in the trash anyway because that's what they were doing in the other ones. But to have him, the leader of the X-Men, and to that point be the most iconic X-Men character before the movies and just kill him after kissing someone is absolutely disgusting. And it is so annoying. And they probably never will do a version of Cyclops where he is like better and bigger than Logan, just because everyone loves Wolverine now. But I would love to see it. I'd be there for it. I'll play Cyclops. He's like kind of ginger in X-Men 97.
About top 3 actors.
Top 3 actors? 3 actors? Grant Gustin.
Yeah.
Alan Richardson. I don't know. See, those are just top 2 actors because I'm very biased towards them. But in terms of general overall acting, probably Leonardo DiCaprio, or maybe a throw in like a Ryan Reynolds or like a John Krasinski in there. Yeah, probably one of those for you.
I'd say Leo is up there. I'm gonna say Robert Pattinson. He did what he could with Twilight script. Really, like he made the best of it. I'd say you can only make so much of dropping an apple and kicking it back up onto the tray.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would say he did it in the least cringe way. Like, if that wolf dude did that shit, I probably would have thrown up all over my bed. But the fact it was Robert Pattinson's kind of made it a little more. I was like, it's not that bad. Then the Leonardo DiCaprio, just a god among men. How does one adapt?
He is probably the best actor.
Yeah.
Out of all the ones that I said, not my favorite, just because there are some movies that I think are like Wolf of Wall Street is an amazing movie. I just think it goes on for way too long.
Yeah.
and it's not really rewatchable in a sense that it is too long.
I feel like it's like too exaggerated. Like I know it's based on a true story, but I feel like it's too exaggerated to like watch it and be like.
Because like the Batman and Avengers Endgame, those were all 3 hours, or like Batman's close, and I like them all about the same, except for the Batman. I think is way better than both of those, but I cannot rewatch Wolf of Wall Street as much as I can those other 2 movies. I think it's an amazing movie, but it's just not rewatchable for me.
Timothy Chalamet up there, but I'm gonna still give him some time to grow. He's what, like 24?
He's like 28. 28, bro.
Is he?
He's almost 30.
Damn.
I'm
still gonna give him some time to marinate because I feel like your acting prime hits later, but like he's on a crazy run right now with Wonka, Dune 2, and then he came out with a pretty big movie, Dune, before that too. Everyone sleeps on Dune, the first movie. Fucking watch it, okay? Just because it's slow doesn't mean it's dog shit or boring. Put down your phone, get off Instagram Reels, and watch Dune 1, and then you'll want to watch Dune 2, and you'll realize what peak is. Alright? None of this other bullshit.
Going back to the question before, I'm looking at my pop figure shelf, and I just realized there's 2 characters that I would love to see in live action. Dr. Fate was in live action, but he was in Black Adam, and he died, which was fucking ridiculous.
10 minutes of screen time, maybe?
Maybe, and it was like they barely showed his powers, and when they did, he was kicking the shit out of Black Adam, and I get The Rock has this no-lose, like, fight thing, which is outrageous that you can even have one of those, but he got his ass kicked by Dr. Fate. I have the pop figure up there.
So he got kicked by Hawkman too. He was getting pieced. He was getting pieced by every dude that showed up.
It went back and forth.
And they were ones. They were ones too.
Yeah, they were run ones. And then Dr. Fate comes in and he slams him into the fucking dirt. And no one ever sees him. But yeah, I think he's also a character where the death was kind of like, just like, why would I just feel like that didn't need to happen. I get he saw there was no other way to do it, but I feel like that's just horrible writing.
Especially as it's advertised these days. I hate when they do it should be a surprise when someone pops up in a movie like that, and then when they die, it's like, okay, that's why they.
But he was advertising. He's supposed to be one of the main characters, and they used him for probably about maybe 30 minutes ish, and they only showed like 2 things he could do, and it was kind of frustrating because he's my second favorite DC character. Not my top 5 characters of all time, but top 2 for DC, and then Red Hood. I also think should get a live action shot. He did in Titans. But I love that show with everything, and I love the actor. It was just way too rushed. Season 2 he's Robin, and then season 3 he's Red Hood. I don't think it happened that quick, especially since the turnaround from season 2 to 3 was only like, I think if I'm not mistaken, a couple months, maybe a month or 2, and I just think.
And that's nothing to become a D1 crash. Yeah.
Having the Red Hood story without Batman. Kind of useless. Like in the show Batman, he kills the Joker, which he doesn't do in Under the Red Hood, which I thought was dumb, but it was also kind of sick. I kind of like seeing Batman kill. I think it's dumb when Zack Snyder did it because there was really no reason to. But when he did it, it's kind of justified, you know. And then none of that. Batman leaves for like a month and then tries to kill himself, which was absolutely ridiculous. And the Batman's like 50 years old, older than 50 for sure, which is kind of confusing because he's still Batman. But the show's awesome. I think for what it's worth, for what Kern Walters was given, he was a pretty good Red Hood. He killed Nightwing on accident. Not really killed him, but he got him killed. And then he comes back and he's a good guy in season 4, and he helps Tim Drake beat bad guys and stuff like that. So I think I'd love to see Red Hood in live action. And there's no one else up there. That's a super.
What's someone you think, like I said earlier, like Robert Pattinson did what he could with the script? Who's someone you think did what they could with a script, or like with the movie they were handed? I feel like I'm like, as much as we shit on Madam Web, Dakota Johnson tried her best, I'd say.
I think she did, but I also don't think Dakota Johnson's best is that good.
And I don't superhero movie person should have fit in that. Yeah. I feel like if they would have started her out as a blind chick, though, it could have been different. But they started her out as like this mother. I'm protecting 3 teenage girls who don't even have any powers, but advertise powers.
I think the acting between the other 3 Spider-Man was alright. It wasn't anything to flaunt. Especially, I don't think you should ever flaunt anything that has to do with Madam Web, except for the fact that it's fucking horrible. That was alright. That's a hard question. I would say, this is biased as well, but The Flash in the last couple of seasons of the show, the writing was awful, and he was kind of sidelined, even though he's literally the title of the show. But I still think his acting was amazing for what it's worth, and I think he did what he could. I don't know. There's a lot of movies that I can't think of because movies that I think they did good, I normally like, so I don't think the movies are bad. But there's definitely some movies that are bad, like Ben Affleck. The Zack Snyder movies is great. Like the Superman and the Batman vs Superman. I think Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck did as well as they could. They were awesome, but the script, the dialogue, and everything else about that movie was horrible.
Two of the strongest peoples in said universe. One with prep time, the other one just physically strong. Like, you guys are about to settle beef over a mom.
No.
Straight, bro.
One word. It's all it took. He could
Martha.
have just dropped down and said Martha, and Batman would have been like, "Oh, sick. Let's not try to murder each other." And then I watched another podcast where I thought this was a pretty good point. This guy said that the Superman in that world is kind of like Batman, and I kind of agree because he does kind of act like Batman.
Okay, yeah.
But I think, regardless, those movies were horrible, and I think they did what they could. Nothing else they could have done.
I agree.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for watching. Socials will be down below in the description. We have an Instagram, TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify if you're on the road or something. And then in the next episode, at the end of the month, we will be reviewing If, Garfield, Tear It, Planet of the Apes, The Strangers, and Mad Max. So stay tuned for those, and we'll get that out as soon as we can. So thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.